So I'll call the meeting to order at 6:01, like I said. Members, additions or deletions to the agenda. We had a request from Dwight under, I'm gonna put it under old business, is to discuss the House and Senate maps. You didn't get a chance, you probably didn't see your emails, Bob. You don't have a computer.
I have not been on email for a little bit now. It's
Okay,
been nice.
cool. So Dwight brought some.
Right.
Did you send it to Tracy or
No, I don't think
anybody
so.
else? Because then we're not
I'll
gonna
get it on
put
the
up
screen.
the screen. Can you email, who's hosting, Tracy? He's gonna send you an email for that part, it's the two maps from the House and Senate.
Oh, you don't have Bob's?
I mean, you can also go into the call and then she could let you share your screen too.
Yep.
Okay, I'll try to email first.
So then, sorry, I got, members of the public. Oh, who do I see? Oh, Meredith is with us remotely, so we're only missing one. Going around, I see, Kendra, you're the first one.
Just here to hang out.
Okay, well, thanks for hanging out with us on a Monday night. I know there's no more Monday night football, so we're probably the next best thing. Dana,
Nothing this evening, sir, thank you.
okay, well, thank you. I think Sarah Smith is a teacher, no. Sarah Smith. Only once. Going twice. Carla is
A teacher.
teacher, and Lindsay's a teacher, right?
Lindsay's a parent.
Oh, Lindsay, I'm sorry. I get parents and people mixed up. Lindsay Campbell, public, any comments?
Hi, nope, just listening in. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for coming and visiting with us tonight. Sarah Smith, one more chance before I go to, is that everybody?
So far.
Okay.
Yep.
Going once, going twice. Bridget, you're the first staff member up.
I have nothing yet.
Okay, nothing yet. Well, this is your one chance. Maybe not. Anne Marie Scott,
I'm just listening in, thank you.
thank you. And Carla?
Just here for the meeting. Thank you.
Okay. And we do have a new guy from BCTV. Thank you for joining us tonight. Media specialist. So that was quick. Budget discussion, before we do that, do you mind doing these maps? Are you set?
I think so. See if you got it.
I did. I'm gonna have to unplug for a second and then I'll plug back in only because I can't. My screen will be too small.
Okay, so we're gonna go and do the House and Senate map. We'll do that first and then we'll go to budget discussion. You have papers for us for budget?
They're in that packet.
In the packet, thank you. There you go.
Thoroughly at the point I need glasses now.
Yeah, it happens.
It's called getting old.
It happened. Wait.
It does happen.
I don't know why it's not letting me go through HDMI. It's kind of annoying. It won't let me.
Hey, Mr. TV guy, you gotta focus on him. He's gonna talk.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Well, I don't wanna be the focus the whole night.
Right.
See, everybody like gives me wide berth.
See what's happening?
Yeah, you're close. I mean, look at these guys. They huddle up in the corner so nobody gets them on TV.
It's part of the goal.
Good God.
Senate and House, it's down from the live one there.
This one? Yes.
Yeah, that one says sign, how's that? Whoa, much happening.
Hold on. Good night.
What's going on here now? Oh, jeez.
We can see it on Zoom now.
Hey, we got him to talk and I didn't even do it. I'm really upset.
Yeah, he's-
That's usually my job.
You good?
Okay.
So, not hearing anything, turn up volume, is that not for us? Are we all good with volume?
Yeah, you're good. That's her computer.
Oh, that's hers, okay. So Dwight, go ahead.
Thanks.
Well, can people see that on TV? Somebody just,
Yeah, he said it's.
I can see it.
okay, so you're seeing what the people.
Yeah, I have it
Okay.
up. I have it up on right here.
I did get you to talk now too. Go ahead, Dwight.
All right, thank you, Rich, and thanks for letting me just give a little brief update. At our last meeting, we had Laura here talking about the House Education Committee, some maps that have been introduced. Since that time, the Senate, which also has an education committee, for those of you who are unaware, there's two education committees, they came up with their own version of maps for redistricting as part of Act 73. Just when we thought the maps were gone, after the task force, they're back. So I thought it was interesting for us, and I wanted to just talk about it because it basically, each map, there's two, of the two maps, it puts us in different districts in either one of them. So one has us going left, one has us going right, which I thought was interesting. And we'll start with what's on the screen now is the House version, which Laura was talking about. The yellow area at the bottom is the district that we would be in. We don't know the name. I guess they're just calling it District 7. They're calling that District 7. And so, but in addition to the maps and where we're located, there's some real big differences of what the structure of those districts will be like. So I thought I'd also kind of give an overview of what, how I understand it to be. And Bob, if you think I've said something incorrectly or something different, just please let me know, because this is how I kind of read it. So the House version creates 27 supervisory districts, each around 2,000 to 4,000. And you can scroll up a little bit so we can see my notes, or down, I should say. All of the districts in this map are all supervisory districts, which means they'll no longer be SUs, no longer be supervisory unions. Also, what it does is it eliminates non-operating districts such as Stratton and Marlboro. So they would be
Marlboro's still operating. Give them.
Sorry, if they become non-operating, they would be in a district. Either way, they would be put into a district. So yeah, and then so those are probably the biggest things. It creates all uniformity in terms of the districts, the SDs. Creates 27 down from total, but we have about 119 districts now.
Yeah.
Okay. In addition, it changes, which of interest to us, it creates a new framework for school choice. Basically, and just going back, all this stuff is just up for negotiation and discussion. It's all been thrown out there, just so everyone knows. These are some of the ideas that are being thrown out. There's plenty of negotiation still to happen, but I thought it was important to bring this up now because this is kind of when all the hard work is being done in committees. Once it comes out of committee, then there'll be tons of negotiation, and who knows where it'll go, if anywhere. But we'll see. So Laura touched on this too. Essentially, each district of the 27 can designate up to 3 public or approved independent schools who do not have reasonable access to public school within the district. So the thing to understand also is the supervisory district will be one unit. So we would no longer have a local school board. There would be one school board representing each of those 27 districts, and they'll be the ones making decisions for the district. Right? So what that means that we'll no longer be here.
At least not in this one.
Not in this room, right? not in this form, but we will have some type of representation. So essentially, that's kind of the overview, and that's kind of what I'm trying to present here, is where each, and the thing I find really interesting is there's a big disconnect from really all of representatives in Montpelier right now. This just back and forth, and there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of consensus, and I think it bears out with these two types of proposals. All right, I guess we'll go to the next one. Here we go. This is the Senate Education Committee proposal. So now we're in that salmon colored one? What do you call it?
Yeah, looks fine.
We're in the salmon, which is pretty big. But the reason it's big, or one of the reasons I should say it's big, and that is called Southwest Area SU. So now we're being pulled to the left. And I guess one of the reasons it's big is because that is a supervisory union in the format that is presented here. So what this proposal, the Senate proposal does, it allows for supervisory unions to exist. And it puts, I don't have the exact numbers, if you go online you can find out the exact breakdown, but as far as we're concerned, that would be an SU which would allow for local school districts to still exist like us. We would still be in a supervisory union. We would have our board. We would allow school choice for us to continue as it is now. But the other thing I found really interesting about this proposal, in addition to the maps, was it gives districts like us and others 2 years to voluntarily merge. Now, if you remember back to the task force, that's kind of one of the tenets that they came up with after talking to their way around the state, was that they felt like there are a lot of districts needed some time to think about how they wanted to merge, or if they wanted to merge, to create more economies of scale, and it should happen more organically. So this proposal allows for that over the first 2 years, and in the third year, if any district hasn't merged, then they'll be forced to at that point. So it basically reduces the number of STs and SUs from 119 basically in half to about 52, and also allows for non-operating districts.
You nailed it.
Oh, thanks.
The one detail I would just say that one line you talk about the number of STs and SUs from 119. So 119 is the number of districts that exist now. They're talking about having 52.
Right. So that needs clarification.
At the end, they're not just. It's not the same. It's not an apples to apples comp.
That's
because right now there's 55 supervisory units. We'll call them either districts or SUs. Because there's 55 superintendents in the state. So this would reduce it to 52, I think, but some of those are with the hope to having future merging as well, right?
That's right. So basically it's like 24 districts, but within those districts, like we are right now, we have some additional school districts and SU. So it's some of them are big, they're comparable, and others are not. They're because they're SUs. And there's more. It's a pretty good breakdown. If you head to the committee, at the Senate Education Committee website, it'll give you a breakdown of exactly how it shakes down for the districts. So anyhow, I just thought it was a good idea just to let people know where we're at, where these committees are at, kind of the difference. What I found very interesting, the difference of where we're being thrown left and right, but also more importantly than the maps is the structures, which really we need to pay attention to. Of what we would prefer, if we have even an ability to make any have any influence over Montpelier, which normally we don't, but you never know. But if you are interested and you have a concern, I'd recommend, and one thing I just added to the next page is if you want to get involved, these are the chairs for each committee. Representative Conlon and Bogarts for the House and Senate respectively are the committee chairs. That's all I have. Any questions? Not me. I don't know if anybody else. No. Okay.
We're not taking
Not doing
questions.
that. Okay, good.
Yeah, we're just doing.
Well, thanks, Rich, for letting me share that.
So, but if people do, we'll put this on the agenda next meeting too. I'm sure it will change some. The only thing we should do is we should put a D and a W, because I was a little confused on where we were, so I have to look on our map, because,
Oh, I see. Oh, where we are?
yeah, because,
All right, that's a good idea.
I think if we just do that, because it's neat that they keep us together, but like in the one map, Stratton, we all staying together, but
Stratton's-
right next to Dover, I think it's, yeah. Somerset. You know, in one map, they're not even contiguous to the
Yeah.
district they threw them in.
Right.
In the house map, you know, you kind of, if you look, they kind of stick out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And the Senate map, at least it seems to make a little more sense, but it looks like we kind of stick out, you know, it's weird how they came up with this. Just the only other comment I would make is that I don't think, you know, again, like Dwight said, there's gonna be a lot of discussion on this, there's gonna be a lot of back and forth. And it's hard to say if anything's gonna actually happen this year. So we do need to pay attention, and crossover's the end of next week. So, you know, last year I thought it was kind of dead because they didn't make crossover, but they did bring something together, even though that kind of backfired a little bit.
They also extended crossover for this issue as well last year. I think I heard her say at our meeting that they would likely do that again.
Yeah.
So it's very possible.
Meredith or Eli, what?
Eli.
You guys, any comments from you guys?
Not right now, thanks.
Yeah, no, I guess I'd like to wait and see what happens further, but obviously I like the one where we get to stay a school board.
Yeah, well, the districts, yeah. But they're going to also probably encourage everybody to try to combine anyways, because, you know, that's been going on for a long time. They don't like having so many little sub-organizations in the state, because it's harder for them to control a bunch of sub-organizations. If they just had like 13 or 15, they can control them really easy. So, okay. Well, thank you, Dwight, for that. And please pay attention, and don't forget your local representatives too, your local senators and rep will eventually get to weigh in on it when he comes out of committee.
It's true. I think one of our senators is actually on the Senate committee too.
Yeah, and we do have Nader coming to town meeting tomorrow.
All right.
In Dover, so it'd be a good chance, maybe ask him what he thinks, if somebody'd like to do that. Okay, let's move on to budget. So we have a packet from, I'm not sure who from, Heidi and Company. So, budget considerations, health insurance increases 7.4%. Dwight, you're always into this. So it's $35,290 is the increase in health insurance. We have some negotiations going on, so we don't have numbers. An amount of money has been set aside for raises. Long-term weighted average daily membership has decreased from 402.3 to 389.97, so we're almost at a whole student spot. It's easier to educate a whole student than a part of a student. The estimated yield, again, that gets decided is for FY27 is 88.49. Excess spending threshold is 16,470. Those can change with legislature. The CLA, well, so which CLA?
They adjust the CLAs by 70.33% this year to sort of fall in line and create the after CLA.
Right, so this isn't,
It's
because the
just-
towns are different.
Correct, and that, yeah,
Okay.
we didn't go into that in this.
No,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay, I just
wanted
wanted to explain
clarify.
the different numbers.
Because the 70.33, 72 is pretty close to Dover's CLA.
Yes, yes, but everybody's gets the factor of 70.33, yeah.
Okay. WCSU assessment increased overall by 20%. Yay, 242,956. 10,000 for the food program to increases in salary, benefits, food expenses. And expenses for ELL direct instruction is now in the RVSUD budget rather than a purchase service from WCSU. And PE staff rewards is now in the River Valley budget rather than a purchase service, because we're moving away from purchase services. at the WCSU. So there's a total increase of $399,856, roughly $400,000. And there's some reductions that are being proposed. A full-time counselor at halftime in the Wardsboro building, and the PE is reduced in half for a total savings around 53. And then in Dover, new staffing, the library, PE and health, which is a reduction of about 57, and reduction of a staff member, estimated salary and benefits is 64.5. And then total for both buildings, a reduction in after-school salary of 10,000, and a reduction in secondary tuition due to decrease in enrollment, 448,000. So it shows like a 642,000, but really
it's only gonna be about 242
Yeah.
after,
after we add that in. And then let's see, if we went from 402 to 389, so 399. So that's about 13 students and roughly $20,000 a student. 13 times 20 is 300,000. So we're actually increasing our budget because the reduction, sure, we can reduce tuition because we're not having as many, but we're also getting less money.
that
in
is true,
too.
yes.
So really there is no reduction, so this budget is an increase.
Your bottom line is gonna show a decrease, but when you come to the tax portion, which I didn't include because we weren't talking
Well,
about.
the income portion, right, we don't do that yet,
Yeah.
but, so just so people don't see this and think it's a huge savings, is
Yeah.
that 448,000 is really pretty darn close to, what we're gonna see in less students for secondary. Well, no, because that's total students, so that's not just secondary students.
It's total students, correct.
Right, so how many secondary students are we losing?
We're losing 21.
21? So, which is about our total reduction. 89, 90.
There is a tuition sheet attached here if you want to go to the
No,
tuition sheet.
I just,
Okay.
for broad numbers, people sometimes look and say, oh my gosh, we're saving.
And those are the highlights,
Yeah, no,
I didn't list every little
cool.
change.
So do you want to take us through, so why don't we do the line item budgeted expenditures?
Okay?
Remembering this isn't broken out by building, this is total.
Mhm.
So like your first one, your pre-K, that's for both buildings.
Rich, just maybe I can help with what you were trying to get at earlier. There's a 3% reduction in long-term weighted ADM.
Yeah.
And a 2.2% reduction in budget.
Right, so it's
That's
not.
what you're trying to show that it was
Sorry.
It's about a wash.
I just want to have that number.
Thank you.
Yep.
So we'll do this annual budgeted expenditures. I don't know if there's a date or anything on it, but,
There's,
so anyways, FY 25, 26, and then your proposed 27.
yeah, so you can see that there's a little bit of a reduction in pre-K. That has to do with the reduction of pre-K as para because the numbers are so small in Wardsboro. So that's the majority of pre-K changes. The MTSS special education, which was the early childhood assessment, is usually in this part of the budget, but because the Wyndham Central assessments have been combined, ECSE is part of special ed. So that reduction is, that's why there's no number there.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna go into the elementary direct instruction. There is a reduction of one staff member for, after discussing with Tracy and Francesca. So there is that reduction, so you'll see less money based on one less staff member, which shows a reduction of 4.2%. The next section, the ELL, is where it's usually a purchase service. This is on page 2. ELL services, it's previously been shown as $21,000 as a purchase service. Now it's in the budget for 0.15 FTE. So then there's art going down. Art is also 0.2, and there's been some movement of individuals. So there's still the same amount of art in both schools, but the art teacher in Wardsboro is also the STEM teacher, and so historically her salary has, for both things, has been under STEM. So that's why it says 0.2, but it's the same amount. So that's a little bit of a reduction on that. World language, that's pretty much staying the same. There was some world language set aside for Brattleboro, but that's not being filled and will not be filled, so it's just 0.5 FTE. Then there is health instruction, which is a 0.2. So that's, again, these were teachers, this teacher that had done health and PE for previous to 25 retired, and so the amounts here are a little bit less going forward because of those changes. We have band, which is staying, which the equipment line has been reduced for band. And then into the music education, 0.5, that's relatively the same. We're trying to reduce the supplies a little bit, trying to cut where we could. PE, that was a reduction based on the staff member wanting, the Wordsboro PE teacher wanted a little less time. She's going towards retirement, so there was a reduction of that. So you see a negative 23%. Then we get to the MTSS elementary assessment from WCSU, which is an increase of $151,000 or 31% from 25. We have the after-school site coordinators.
But remember too, though, that increase, part of that increase is because we had a decrease of
Yes, I'm happy to explain that.
Yeah.
So the WCSU, the MTSS budget is overall was a 3.5% increase for the multi-tiered systems of support, special ed, AST. However, we are expecting a lot less in federal grants this coming year based on the current federal economy. And so from what we currently have for 26 and what we expect for 27, there's a decrease of about $700,000. So it went from, it took a 3.5% increase in the MTSS budget to a 42% increase. The WCSU board worked together and decided to use $800,000 of reserve funds to reduce that overall expense to the schools, which reduced it to about 20%. Then we use the long-term ADM, which is a 2-year rolling average of each of the school systems, school districts, to determine what each school district's assessment is. So your current long-term weighted ADM student count has gone down, but so has in all the other school districts. So you would expect that your assessment would go down, but because of all the other school districts' assessments going, or long-term weighted ADM going down, the assessments are increasing incrementally based on that. So the 31% for this is also split between elementary and secondary, and this is the elementary part of the SU assessment. So it would have been a lot more had the Wyndham Central School Board not used the $800,000.
Yeah, I was actually not talking about that. I was talking on the first page. We had the 38,000 that got moved down into that line item.
Yes, I'm sorry.
So
I thought you wanted to go the overall.
No, it would have been that's like 40, so it would have been like around 110. So it's like almost a quarter-ish of that. Okay. So it's not just that one specific thing, but we combined some things.
The early childhood into that assessment.
You got it.
I'm sorry.
That's all I was
Thanks.
mentioning. Thank you.
Yep. So the next section is the after-school budget. There's been a decrease in that based on some enrollment numbers going down, but the programs are intended to stay as enriching as they have been based on the board's and community requests. Then, so you'll see a reduction of 45%. Turning to page 3. We look at guidance services, that's 1.5 FTE between the two schools. There are some page 4. There are, again, some changes in staffing, so that's where you're seeing your reduction of the budget in that in that guidance services section. And then we go on to the school nurse section. That is 1.6 FTE based on what currently is staffing in both schools. And that is a 6.3% increase, partially because of health insurance. The next section is instructional staff, training and development. That's staying the same. Then school focus is the STEM section. So this is a 0.4, and this really reflects the art teacher with their 0.2 for art and 0.2 for STEM. So that's where her salary is, and that is just the 3.1% increase. Library starts at the bottom of page 4. There has been a change of library, or an anticipated change in the library salary, and so based on what it was prior to a teacher, I think, leaving on her own and trying to find interim, that's your huge decrease there, as well as benefits. So that would take us onto page 5. So that shows the overall reduction of 17%. Then we get into the principal office section. This is again for both schools. Everything is the same. This is again without any increases of salaries for next year. So this is just flat funding it currently. And with the health insurance increase of 7.4, you're seeing a bottom line of 2.1%. But again, that's before any salary increases. The next section at the bottom of page 5 is the operation of buildings. This is a 1.75 FTE, and this is a sharing of some of the custodial work between the two schools. Going on to page 6, you'll see the continuing of this. I worked with Greg and we went over where we could reduce some of the expenses. Now that you've got a new roof, there's some building expenses that could be reduced, as well as some other things that have been repaired or replaced. So there is a $25,000 savings in this section based on reducing those areas. So it's a 5.3% savings. There's lawn care, and outdoor upkeep that has an increase there. This one increase under equipment is due to the tractor is not doing well. And so for future snow removal, Greg is suggesting we get a snow blower so that the pathways can still be cleaned. So there is that $4,000 in there. That was a suggestion from Greg. So that's the 22.9% increase in the outdoor lawn and outdoor care. Going on to transportation. So this is a 0.25 FTE for the Dover bus driver, and throughout here it's just some changes of health insurance, changes to insurance for increases in insurance for building and for maintenance of transportation. There is an increase of about $5,000 towards purchase services for the Wardsboro bus and the busing of the secondary students to Brattleboro. So there's that increase. Going on to page 7, there's a little bit of a decrease in gas just because it's been coming in lower than what was previously budgeted. So overall, the transportation has a 1.5% decrease.
Must be that electric bus.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
The one that can't drive when it's too cold.
It's only gonna be
It's
6
even
months.
less energy when it doesn't.
Just, yeah, I was gonna say, that's why.
There is still money set aside, $2,500 for field trip transportation for Wardsboro. That's the same as this current year. Food services is about the same. as it was this year for, we have the purchase services for the overall CMP monitoring that our office does, and then there is those purchase services from West River. We're still evaluating that, but that's what we have plugged in for now. So overall elementary section is a 1% increase from the current year. Again, this is without any specific raises for any of the staff. Then we go on to secondary, and this is where there's the breakdown of tuition to public and private schools or out-of-state schools. The numbers have been moved around. You'll see it looks like, why is this so much lower here and this is higher here? But it's based on new numbers, budget codes from the state. So that's just why that's kind of strange looking. But overall, you can see that there has been a 21% decrease in tuition, even with the increased tuition costs based on the number of enrollment students that are going down. And then the next section is the other half of the MTSS. This one's a little bit higher, again, based on the assessments for the secondary half and the numbers of students. Vocational, this is based on what the state indicates and how many students are attending vocational ed and what we are told to pay based on a rolling 6-semester average. So this transportation, the other half of the transportation, this is split in 2 sections. Again, there's an increase based on the a slight increase to West River for their increases they've taken in, and also for the transportation of the secondary students to Brattleboro. Overall, that's a 22% increase in transportation. Then we get on to the next section towards the bottom of page 7, which is school board. These are about the same except for the assessment from the Wyndham Central Superintendent's general budget. It's a 20% increase based again on students, and that's students in your schools that's based on the ADM. That's a 2-year rolling average again. So that's showing a 62% increase. And then we go down at the bottom is just what you pay your treasurer and your clerk for the work they do for annually. And then moving on to page 8, we have audit expenses. It's a 7.7% increase from the current year, although it might be a little bit on the low side. They're charging, their invoicing us is going up quite a bit. Then we have legal services, which I'm keeping about the same. And then technology, that is part of the Wyndham Central's general fund assessment, but I have divided it out so that you can see the increase. There was an amount increased in the tech budget based on Matt Martin, the IT director, wanting to start increasing the ability for the internet services to move into the next decade, and trying to make it faster and allow for more information to be passed through all of our schools. I should mention, we do get E-rate funds to do that, but we have to put in 20%. So it's a budget of $100,000, but there's just $20,000 that was put in the SU budget for that. So everybody's paying their portion to get that. And so overall, with those increases and decreases, you will see a decrease of 2.2%. And I should go back to page 7 and just point out in the school board, the other piece that should get recognized is the special item that I put into I just stuck it in there to hold a place for any raises through negotiations or whatever the board wants to do. So that is where that is sitting currently, 101,660. And then we go on to,
Well, hang on.
oh, sorry.
So that's the operational expenses, correct? Okay, so I know everybody, pardon?
Where'd she put the 101? Where'd you put
It's
that?
page 7 at the bottom in the Board of Education, the school board section.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a little number, but it has special item.
Oh, here it is. Yeah.
No, code. That's it. There used to be a thing for salary reserve. Is there a code for salary?
There, when Lori and I worked on this for a different school district last year, we just called it a special item. And I'm sure there's a code number, but I also figure it will get distributed out at some point, so.
Okay, so questions on operational?
So that special item, so essentially you are budgeting.
I'm
for
budgeting an amount.
An estimate.
An estimate, right.
Okay, so
It
it's
could
not
come in
nothing.
higher or lower, but I wanted to make sure
Yep.
there was something to cover.
Something.
It's something.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Heidi, can you review? There was something on the bottom of, maybe I missed it, on the bottom of, I think it was page, it was either 7, it was the bottom of 7 or the top of 8 that you said was an increase of 20%, maybe more, for coming from the superintendent SU budget
Yes,
or something to that. Where is that and what, can you explain that to me?
it's under the Board of Education,
Yep.
311, okay. The SU assessment on 5593, which is an increase of 39,003. The amount is
Okay, I see that.
Yeah, that is the superintendent and business office assessment. So that's what every school district is paying towards the supervisory union for the running of the superintendent's office and the business office. It is an amount on the SU board determines, votes on, and then it gets divided out to all the school districts based on the students in the schools.
So that's the increase in the SU budget,
Yes,
or for central. Okay, got it.
Our share of it.
yes, your share of it.
Because some years, the budget can their budget can increase, but our share will go down depending on number of students.
Got it. Thank you.
Eli, you have any questions? Eli, can you hear us? Oh, I'm sorry.
Not right now.
Okay. Mikey?
I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay.
Another question.
Go ahead.
You mentioned that there was a bus now from Wardsboro to Brattleboro that's being proposed.
I'm sorry there's a bus that takes Wardsboro students to the Wardsboro Elementary School and the high school, and then there's a bus from West River Transportation that picks up kids at the high school and takes them to the Career Center.
Okay.
So if kids want to go to the Career Center, that's the way they get there.
Oh, that Career Center. Okay, now I understand.
Sorry.
That's that number here for the.
It's combined, so I take the amount,
Yeah.
the additional amount for taking those kids and the portion for the Wardsboro, and then I
Break
just
down the portion.
break it down between the two since it's,
And the other factor to that is that there is a cost, probably not calculated in that has to pay the Dover driver to drive the kids to Newbrook to get on that bus.
Okay.
So
Right.
that's built in more
So
into
they're
the,
coming from two different directions.
They are.
They have a meeting and then they're going.
yeah.
Okay.
So those are Dover,
And that's the
those are
same
Dover
Dover
students
kids
who
are
are
coming
going to,
down to the Newbrook School, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
but that's more driven into the cost of transportation, probably on the elementary side, because it's in his salary and benefits.
That is correct, in.
But it's really a
Dover's
secondary
pay.
expense, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. That answers it. Thank you.
You good? Okay. If there's no questions, then why don't we do this? Everybody can take this, go home, look at it. If you have any questions, let me know, and we can do another run through of it in Wardsboro in 2 weeks.
I got a
silly question, I should know it by now, but when does the year-to-date end for 26?
June 30.
June 30.
It's a fiscal year, July 1 through June 30.
Gotcha.
And a lot of these items are pretty, Heidi can really nail these because she knows what the contracts are and she knows how many students as long as there's no change. So, but there are some variable things like, fuel and with supplies and materials because.
Of course, maintenance, yeah.
Right. I will say that, there's a lot of positions feel like if it's in the budget, you better spend it because you won't be able to justify your budget again the following year. And I will say our administration, our business office, our admin assistants in the buildings are really good just because it's there. They don't just spend it. So that's why we have a bunch of surplus. A lot of our surplus comes from secondary because, it's a guess.
Yeah, you move in and.
Right, people move in and out, but I do compliment both our building administrators, our administrative assistants, because like I said, if there's money there, it doesn't mean it gets spent. They still justify everything. And when you look at their expenditures, there isn't a lot of fluff. They're not buying stuff that doesn't look necessary. So. Is everybody good with budget so far? I lost somebody. Where did our other board member go?
She just shut her camera off. That's okay.
Oh, okay.
She's the little swirl.
Little swirly thing? Okay. So if everybody's good with the budget, if you guys have no comments, then we'll take another look at it again on 2 weeks from today in Wardsboro.
If anybody has any questions in the meantime.
Yep, email them to me,
Yep,
and then
okay.
I'll put them together and get them to you. Cool. Good work on budgets.
Can I just point out that one of the attachments is what you asked for, Dwight? I think this is what, it takes the expenditures and it just puts them all into the account codes. And so like all the teachers, it gives you one number.
The combination, like it combines, wow.
Exactly. So I think, you were asking about health insurance, which is 5211, and that gives you your overall. So this may be helpful as you're comparing, everything without getting all mixed into all the different categories, just saying this is the total amount of what dental costs the entire,
This is excellent, thank you.
Okay, yep. And there is attached also the building ops that Greg and I have worked on and where, his suggestions for a couple of capital improvements if the board.
Capital improvements is a whole different budget.
Right, I just wanted you to have them there.
Okay.
So you have it to look at as to what was proposed for this year.
Cool.
This is excellent, thank you.
Okay, last chance, folks. Anything else for Heidi?
A lot of homework.
Since that kind of covers our old business, I'm gonna just go off a little bit and go to approved financials. So if Heidi wants to leave, she doesn't have to stay for the whole meeting. And usually we have our financials. There's pay order 48, 1715.98 for credit cards, and order 49 for 82,233.18 for other expenditures. Anybody like to make a motion? It's right there.
I'll do it, I guess it's not here. Make a motion for, just read it. Pay order 48 in the amount of $1,715.98 and pay order 49 in the amount of $82,233.18.
And we have a motion by Dwight and a second by Mike. Is there any discussion? Meredith, you have that, correct? It's in the packet.
I had it.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Appears to be unanimous decision in the affirmative. It is. Motion passes. Bob, superintendent update, please, sir.
I think the cabinet report is not linked here yet for March, but you'll get that at the end of this week. Because of the vacation week, we pushed off the due date for my folks, so that'll be coming out at the end of this week. And then just to give you guys an update, so I think last time I mentioned that we had our director of special education resign, and so we are in the process of setting up an interview. We have a couple candidates we'll take a peek at for that, and that's kind of the only really personnel news on that side. But yeah, so we're moving forward with trying to fill that position. It's kind of a big deal. And it's coming off of actually a pretty nice email from a Dover parent to Jen and I about that person who had done a really nice job representing that family in a tough meeting, I would say.
It was tough.
In Dover, that the person really appreciated. Chris is her name. Chris's guidance. So it stinks that we're losing her, but it's not what she wants to be doing. So, other than that, I've been enjoying some time off. The end of last week, I had no board meetings last week, so that was a nice switch in the normal realm. But obviously, some stuff happening around we have 3 towns voting on district budgets tomorrow: Wyndham, Stratton, and Marlboro. Or we're also voting on their closure vote as well. So, yeah, a lot going on. So let's try to get away and recoup some time before we get back into the craziness of March. The madness of March, should I say.
Is that Marlboro vote, is that in person?
It's Australian ballot.
Australia.
Yeah.
They had a moderated meeting, right, Stephen John?
They've had 4 community meetings, including the informational meeting Saturday, to talk about it.
Did you go to that?
I did not. I was told by the board chair that he had it under control.
You know how it went?
I have not heard. So.
Is that recorded by BCT?
I would imagine. They normally don't, but I think for the special meetings they have had BCTV there. Okay. So it's possible that it was.
Eli or Meredith, do you have anything for Bob as superintendent's report? Eli saying no. Oh, thank you, Meredith. Mike, you're
Good. That's that thing, but.
Okay. Well, Bob, I'm glad you got a week off.
Yeah, me too. Felt good.
And then hopefully tomorrow won't be too crazy.
I know.
Tracy, you gotta wait. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm okay with
Go ahead.
Right. Well, it just seems like the other day we were all together.
Isn't it?
Not many school days have gone by since the last time we met, but coming up this week, our 4th graders get to take the NAEP testing. So yay for them. And we are starting our our March reading challenge as soon as we get back to school. We sadly, our winter carnival got canceled because Bob called a half day on that Friday. So we're gonna be, it's all good. We're gonna be doing it on Wednesday. We still have some snow. People were worried all the snow would be gone, but I think we'll be good. Our concert is on the 12th at 6 o'clock. So come on over. And we are heading over to Merck Forest in Rupert to see and participate in their sugaring program. So we're all pretty excited about that. What else? Myself and another classroom teacher, Renee, our curriculum coordinator, set up a observation for us to go over and meet with some of their teachers over there, because they have in Reading Elementary, they have multi-grade classrooms as well. And we're going to observe an EL lesson or 2 over there just to kind of broaden our outlook on that. And I think that is all for me right now.
Thank you, Francesca. Anybody, anything for Wardsboro? Meredith and Eli, you guys are good? Yep, thank you. You guys too? You got off easy as the away team. Go ahead, Tracy.
So also, not many school days in between, but we're about ready to kick off our March reading challenge too. I have a special surprise, which I'm not going to spoil because I haven't told the students yet. If they read a certain number of minutes in the month of March, something fantastic will happen. That makes me uncomfortable, but it's okay.
Going to send us millions of dollars.
Oh, I mean, that would be great. If you can work that out for us, that would be great.
I keep hearing stories of like principals who challenge their kids and they end up like they sleep on the roof or something. Is that something?
Yeah,
like,
something, yeah.
Maybe, if it's a new roof, it'd be perfect for you.
Yeah.
And that was from her former school, I think.
Was it? I've heard of it in numerous places.
Yes.
Done that,
Yeah. Yes, I once did that when I had to have my office on the roof at Twin Valley. Yeah. When I got roped into that, which no, I'm probably not going to do that. I hear it's a little windy up there, so it's also March.
Yeah, Bob and I can do it because our hair won't get messed up.
That's true.
We are in the midst of scheduling a field trip to Billings Farm. We were going to go and do their maple sugaring program too, but we have to check and see because 80 kids, well actually it would only be 77 kids on the bus with their snow gear might be a little much, so we might have to like pivot and do something in the spring where we don't have all sorts of gear, but we're going to figure that out. And then we are gearing up for a great March. It's going to be good. Hopefully the snow's going to melt. That's what I'm looking forward to, Francesca.
All set?
Yep.
Any questions for Meredith? From Meredith or Eli? No. You guys all set?
All set, sounds great.
I think Meredith will come on. You all set, Meredith?
Thumbs up.
Cool. You got off easy too.
I know, right?
That puts us right up to a consent agenda. I'm sorry. Only the minutes of the 2/16/26 meeting. Anybody any comments?
What a long meeting.
It was, but we did a lot accomplished. And Meredith, you did a great job on it. I didn't see anything wrong, and I looked harder this time because last time we had a few. But I think it was good. So if there's no comments, we'll just accept them by unanimous consent or non-unanimous objection. So correspondence, Bob, update on parent concern for previous meeting.
Yep, just to say that we've had some back and forth and that we'll be meeting with a parent probably this week or next.
Okay, so you'll keep us updated.
Yep, I'll keep you
if you need anything from us.
good.
So that tells me that we don't need anything in executive session.
We don't, not this time.
Okay, so that tells me our next meeting is going to be March 16th in Wardsboro, where the home team is dreaming up some spring training tips for us. But I think the away team may surprise them. And then we got April 6th in Dover, April 20th in Wardsboro, and it will include the information meeting. April 27th is elections, and April 28th is our annual district meeting in Dover. So next meeting, we do need to be prepared to discuss and hone in on the budget and get that finalized. I'll put together some articles based on the information we have. Do review, she did include the capital items, so take a look at that. So we'll need to put that together, and we'll also need to decide on what we want to do and what we want to present for the IB question, because that definitely needs to be on the Article 2.
When do we start doing the articles?
Next week, next meeting. But we may wind up having one more meeting. We may meet sometime following that. I think we have an extra week before we have to submit. So we may have to meet on March 23rd.
Okay.
Right? Is that 7 days, 23rd? Is that following Monday? If we can't get everything done. But make sure you review the budget really closely. Make sure you review the the financials. and be prepared to have a discussion on that. I hate to say it, but I don't even know what time it is.
You did it in exactly an hour. Well done.
Okay.
Is that-
Well, I mean, it's not a speed, so, Meredith, are you all set? Anything else I missed? Which is not unlike me.
I'm good.
Okay. Eli?
No, I'm good.
Mike, you good?
Perfect.
You good?
So, thank you, Rich.
Okay. Well, then, I'm looking for that motion that has to be made, seconded, can't be debated or discussed. What is it? The motion that can't be debated. You got it. Motion to adjourn.
I knew it.
Mike seconds it. There's no discussion. We have to vote. All in favor, say aye. If you want to stay, say nay. Okay, it looks like everybody was an aye. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks.